All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our second video for Monday, February 1st. If you really end up enjoying this installment here, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you're new here and you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please feel free to do that right now as well. I'd be greatly appreciative if you did that. And for those who don't already know who I am, my name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. Now, guys, we got ourselves not a huge slate of college basketball action, but a couple really interesting games. We're actually going to start off with an ACC game that's not on our big screen behind me, but it is going to be Georgia Tech versus Louisville, 2 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the KFC Yum Center. The Louisville Cards are -4 with a total at 135.5. And if you like the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to win this one outright on the road here, they're plus $1.55 on the money line. Now we're 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99 when you click the link in the description section below. We also have a membership on that site called the Board Member Tier, and that package actually gives you access to every single pick that I give out on that site as well. But if you want to find out what our daily best play is today for just $1.99, once again, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that website is patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, the Yellow Jackets are just 1-3 straight up as the official road team. Just 66 points a game they're averaging in that category. They're taking on a Louisville program who's 7-1 straight up on their home court, and they win 83% of their games when favored. Carlik Jones is scoring 18 points a game along with 6 boards and 5 assists. The senior guard has also recorded 19 total steals. David Johnson scoring over a dozen a game himself, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for the 6'5 sophomore. The Cardinals allow just 63 points a game on their home court, and they also hold their opponents to just 30% shooting from beyond the arc. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Louisville's last 6 got over the posted number. Georgia Tech 6-2 to the over in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward the Louisville Cardinals -4 and the over 135.5. Before we go ahead and move on here, guys, just want to take another quick time out and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Monday's college basketball action. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you guys had an outstanding weekend. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we've won our last 3 straight daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to unlock today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99 when you click the link in the description section below. Now, were you also aware that our board member tier gives you access to every single pick I give on Patreon? And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on that Patreon site, you get access to all the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. So basically, Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that. Today's the first of the month, so this is your absolute max value day to sign up. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and my Patreon site, well, what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 4 to 5 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success wagering on games that way in smaller sample sizes versus betting on every single game that's on the slate, side and total, like I do here with my free leans on YouTube. Now, guys, real quick, if you want to join our paid Patreon members and get in on the action yourself, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on here, guys, we're going to take a look at Bradley versus the Indiana State Sycamores. That's going to be a 5 p.m. Eastern start time at the Holman Center. The Sycamores are the 1-point favorite at home. Total's 132.5. Now, Indiana State's on a 5-game winning streak, 7-3 straight up on their home court this year. Indiana State gives up just 65 points per contest at home, and they hold their opponents to just 33% shooting from 3 land. Tyreek Key is scoring 15 points a game along with 5 rebounds, and a couple assists. The senior guard is also making 87% of his free throws. Meanwhile, Jake LaRavia is also scoring over a dozen a night himself. 6 rebounds and 2 assists for the big 6'9 sophomore. Now they're taking on a sputtering Bradley school who lost their last 5 straight ball games, and they also failed to cover the number in 7 out of their last 9. Now the Braves make just 31% of their 3 balls, and they also find themselves just 1-6 straight up on the road this season. Now total-wise, Bradley's 4-1 to the under in their last 5. Indiana State 6-2 to the under in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward the Indiana State Sycamores -1 and the under 132.5. All right, next contest I have for you, it is going to be Illinois State versus Drake, 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Knapp Center. The Drake Bulldogs are -18, numbers 142. Now, the Bulldogs have given up 73 points or more in their last 2 straight. They also failed to cover the number in 6 out of their last 9 hosting the Redbirds. So if you're into historical trends, it looks like the Redbirds have kind of had these guys' number, at least against the spread. Now, speaking of Illinois State, they did successfully cover the number yesterday against this Drake team. They nearly beat them outright. That was a 2-point game. Now, the Redbirds score nearly 75 points per contest, and they find themselves making well over 39% of their three-pointers. DJ Horn is scoring 15 points a game, along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. The sophomore guard is also making 45% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, Antonio Reeves is scoring 13 points a night himself, along with 4 rebounds. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, 7 out of Illinois State's last 9 away from home got over the line. Meanwhile, Drake is officially 6-1 of the over on their home court themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Illinois State Redbirds +18 and the over 142. All right, next contest, unfortunately not on our big screen, but it is going to be Murray State versus Southeast Missouri State, 7 p.m. East. Murray State's -8 on the road here, totals 132.5. Now, Murray State's lost 6 out of their last 9 ball games, just 3-6 against the spread in those contests. The Racers scored just 66 points a game when they travel, and they're shooting just 31% from downtown in that category. Murray State is just 1-5 straight up away from home this season. Now they're taking on a Southeast Missouri State team who's on a 2-game winning streak themselves, and they also find themselves 4-3 straight up on their home court. The Red Hawks are giving up just 68 points a game at home. Chris Harris is scoring 14 points a game, along with 3 boards and 3 assists. Meanwhile, Nana Akenton is scoring double-digit points a game himself, along with 6 rebounds. Now, total-wise, the Red Hawks' last 6 meetings with Murray State all got over the number. 6-1 of the over in their last 7, hosting the Racers as well. I'm going to lean toward the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks +8 and the over 132.5. All right, next contest. It is on our big screen behind me. I'm talking about Duke versus Miami, 7 p.m. Eastern tip. The Duke Blue Devils are -11 on the road. Totals 139, juice to the under. And if you like the Hurricanes in a big upset at home, they're +420 to win it. Now, as bad as they've been, Miami allows just 65 points a game at home, and they hold their opponents to just 40% shooting from the field. Isaiah Wong is scoring over 17 points a game, along with 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Now they're taking on a Duke team who went just 30% against the number in their last 10 themselves. They're just 3-9 against the spread for the entire season. Duke allows 72 points a game when they travel, and their opponents are hitting nearly 40% of their 3 balls against them. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Duke's last 5 stayed under the number. They're also 3-1 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes saw their last 4 straight stay under the line themselves. 6-2 to the under in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward the Miami Hurricanes +11 and the under 139. All right, next contest. Another game not on our board, but definitely a game of interest. I'm talking about UCF versus Memphis, 8 p.m. Eastern start time at the Forum. Memphis is -9, totals 133, juice to the over. Now, if you like Central Florida in an upset on the road here, they're +335 for some money line cash. UCF's just 1-6 straight up in their last 7. Losers of 5 out of their last 6 road games. The Knights are scoring just 66 points per contest. Now they're taking on a Memphis squad who successfully covered the point spread in their last 4 straight themselves. They're also 6-1 straight up on their home court this season. The Tigers are stifling their opponents to just 60 points a game at the FedEx Forum, 37% shooting from the field in that same category. Landers Nolley is scoring nearly 14 points a game, along with 3 rebounds and a couple assists. Meanwhile, DJ Jeffries is scoring double digits a game himself, 6 rebounds and 2 assists for the forward. Now, total-wise, UCF saw their last 4 straight get over the line, 67% to the over in their last 9. I'm going to lean toward the Memphis Tigers -9 and the over 133. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Oklahoma versus Texas Tech, 9 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the United Supermarkets Arena. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are -7 at home with the total at 137.5. But as good as the Red Raiders have been in many spots this season, they've actually been pretty bad covering the number. Now, they went just 30% against the number in their last 10 ball games, and they also find themselves covering just 40% of their games on their home court. Now, Texas Tech is shooting just 42% from the field in Lubbock, and they're also draining only 32% of their three-pointers in that same category. Now, Texas Tech is taking on a red-hot Oklahoma team who's on a 5-game winning streak with victories over the likes of Alabama, Texas, Kansas, K-State, and TCU during that spread. Now, the Sooners have also been absolute covering machines recently, going 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 contests. The Sooners are scoring 77 points a game, and they also hold their opponents to just 41% shooting from the field. Now, guys, I get it. Austin Reeves and Alondas Williams, they're both in COVID protocol. We're not going to see them in action. I get that. I understand that. And those are two huge pieces to this team. But keep in mind, those two gentlemen, they were both out against Alabama in that huge upset Saturday as well. So these guys can definitely play ball without all of their stars. Plus, Davion Harmon, he's scoring over 13 points a game for the Sooners, 3 boards and a couple assists for the sophomore guard. Meanwhile, 6'9" senior Brady Manick is scoring 11 points a game along with 4 rebounds. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Oklahoma's last 3 ball games got over the number, 3-2 to the over in their road games. Meanwhile, Texas Tech went 6-2 to the over in their last 8 contests themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Oklahoma Sooners +7 and the over 137.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on that website, 9-3 straight up in our last 12. I like Louisville -4 over 135.5, Indiana State -1 under 132 and a hook, Illinois State +18 over 142, Southeast Missouri State +8 over 132.5. The Miami Hurricanes +11 under 139. The Memphis Tigers -9 over 133. And before I give you our next and final contest for the show, one final reminder that you can access today's daily best play on Patreon for just $1.99 by clicking the link in the description section below. Please feel free to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. You can also subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. I'm going to lean toward the Oklahoma Sooners +7 and the over 137.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs to our top 10 YouTube commenters over the past day or so. Shout out to Leslie Botang, Raw Words Podcast, William Q, Daddy Fat Sacks, Trey Flame, Fernando Coronado, Jack Kindy, Rickety Cricket, Words of Wisdoms, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my man, Bryant Dela Cruz. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So with that in mind, guys, today's your max value day. It's the first of the month. So if you end up signing up today, you're going to get billed today for signing up, and you're not going to get billed again until March 1st. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day. Wait, I just said that. will bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for. I go through the script so many times I just fire it off. But anyway, most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.